finding a spot where you can just rest your eyes. And taking in a deep breath through the nose. And on the long, long exhale, just allowing it all to melt away. Becoming fully aware of this moment, fully alert. I welcome you to our group. You're welcome here, exactly as you are. So just allowing the body to settle here, noticing what's still in the mind, the comparing mind, the judging mind, noticing all of it. That's okay. That's just what the mind does. Becoming fully aware of your experience right at this moment. Noticing the body breathing. And if your eyes are closed, maybe just finding a focal point, lowering the gaze, just relaxing the gaze away so you're not distracted by what's in front of you. I'll keep my eyes between open and closed because I have to keep track of time and keep an eye on you as well. So, but you can go ahead and close your eyes. There's nothing to do right now. There's nowhere to go. Just being here, fully here in this moment. And taking in the moment exactly as it is. And as the body sits or lies down here, the mind is fully alert, the mind is fully awake. And your attention moves to whatever we pointed to. So for now, allowing the attention to just rest in this body. It's kind of like saying, hello, here you are, my old friend, once again. We've been through so much together. Welcome. Tuning into how the body is positioned right now. And allowing just the weight of the body to kind of sink in safely into the surface of the chair, the cushion, the mat, if you're lying down. And you might be able to feel here the pull of gravity, how gravity keeps you here. Noticing if there is any tension or tightness anywhere, without trying to change it or make it go away. It's more of an invitation to kind of just ease away. Knowing that this trust and loyal companion that's our body also holds every experience we've ever been through in life. knowing that all these tensions and all this tightness is in reference sometimes to the moment, closing up, protecting. So seeing if we can just allow it to soften up around that, but if not, understanding that it's been with us since the very beginning and it's been through a lot too. And now bringing your attention to your feet. If your feet are on the ground, feeling the earth underneath. If you're sitting cross-legged, noticing how the feet might be in contact with the body. And there might be sensations that are pleasant here at the feet, tingling, maybe just coolness, or maybe unpleasant. Numbness, or whatever it is that you consider unpleasant is different for all of us. But just noticing this as we navigate the body today, how some sensations are pleasant and others are unpleasant. But then also paying attention to the neutral ones, the subtle sensations that are neither, they're not pleasant nor unpleasant. They're just there, sometimes fully unnoticed. And now allowing this body to breathe normally. By now, we probably all know that it doesn't need our help, that the body just keeps us alive, keeps working for us constantly, despite of everything. So noticing your breathing, being aware that you are breathing right now. The body is breathing. And bringing kind curiosity to the breath. Noticing the inhale from beginning to end and the exhale from beginning to end. And with each in-breath, we take a little from the world. And with each out-breath, we give a little to the world. And while the body's still sitting here, breathing constantly for us, working hard to keep us alive, tuning into the feet again and moving up to the legs, noticing the sensations here. If they're pleasant, you might be inclined to one a little more. If they're unpleasant, you might notice the resistance for it. So just noticing that, noticing what comes up, maybe nothing at all, and that's okay too. Noticing that there's nothing to see right now, nothing to experience, that's okay. And maybe in the middle of that nothingness that might be here, could be a neutral moment. Where the subtle sensations are not even felt here at the feet, the legs. And moving up to your hips and the pelvis, the glutes and the tailbone. Feeling the seat maybe. And there's a chance that sometimes strong emotions can come up, sometimes difficult emotions. Knowing that you can always go back to your breathing at any time, not just during our formal practice, but during the day. Coming back to noticing the breath, sense of allowing and acceptance for what's here, but always taking care of yourself, opening your eyes if you need to, shifting your pose if you need to. But if you're with us, just allowing your attention to gently rest here at the hips, the glutes, the tailbone, the pelvis. The organs that might or might not be here. Focusing on sensation and not the image of these parts of the body. That's a thought, but really sensing more of the sensorial experience of this moment right here in this area. And now moving up to the abdomen, the belly, the muscle here, the organs here, the lower back, the lower spine, where we often hold so much tension. And now moving up to the abdomen. And once again, focusing here where you might feel the breath. So if you notice yourself getting distracted, the mind telling stories, moving your attention and focusing your attention, but in a very gentle manner, kindly, kind curiosity right here in the abdomen, as you might feel the breath rising on the in-breath and falling on the out-breath. And now moving up to the upper trunk, the rib cage, the skin here, the chest, the lungs and the heart. You might even be able to feel the heart expanding, pumping blood, beating, and the lungs oxygenating. And you might not, and that's okay. Noticing the subtle, the neutral, the neither unpleasant or pleasant in this moment as we explore these areas in the body. Moving to the upper back and the upper spine. There's nothing to look for. There's nothing to find. We're just exploring whatever is here already, allowing it to come to our awareness. So if there's nothing here right now, then that's okay. Just allowing for that. Because at this time, the sensations might be very subtle and might go unnoticed. So these are the neutral times in which it's neither pleasant or unpleasant. Nothing to push away, nothing to want more of. Just neutral. And seeing if the attention can rest here in this neutral moments. Right here in the upper back, the upper spine, the chest. And moving up to the shoulders. Now seeing if your attention can rest for a moment on the palms of your hands and seeing what's here. What are the sensations here right now? More interested in the experience itself and not the thought, not the image. Really sensing in this part of the body. Coolness or warmth, tingling, numbness, whatever might be here. And noticing the wrist and the lower arms, and the elbows, the upper part of the arms. And back to the shoulders again. Has anything changed? Is everything the same? How about the back of the neck? What's here right now? What's the back of the neck experiencing right now? What is the sensation? How about the sides? And the throat? There could be sensations of dryness or moisture here, the need to swallow. And moving up to the chin and the jaw. Is there clenching, tightness here? The area around the mouth, the muscle here, always moving when we're smiling, the cheeks. And is there a sensation here at the nostrils, maybe the breath coming and going? The upper lip. How about the area around the eyes? Are you squinting, frowning? Is there any tension here? How are the eyelids right now? And the forehead, the right ear and the right side, and the left ear and the left side of the head. The back of the head that might or might not be in contact with something, the pillow maybe, or maybe nothing at all, and that's okay. The crown of the head. The very, very top of the head. The skull and the brain here. Areas of tension as well sometimes, tightness. So now allowing yourself to allow the attention to rest in the entire body, all the way from the top of the head to the tips of the toes. Almost as if it was a scanner and just scanning with each breath. So breathing in and bringing your attention to all the different parts of the body, allowing the breath to flow in every single area. And so resting here in your breathing, allowing the belly to fully expand on the in-breath, contract on the out-breath. Oxygenating the entire body.
Where does the mind go in this moment? Noticing where it went, and maybe this is a neutral moment, a moment that is not pleasant necessarily or unpleasant. Maybe it's just neutral. So what happens to the mind in a neutral moment? Maybe boredom, sleepiness, anticipation. Coming back to just being with the breath and the body, taking the breath to every part of the body, noticing all sensations, noticing everything that comes up. So when we truly pay attention to our life, we can start to see the moment. We can start to see how the moment unfolds. And if we're truly engaged, we might be able to identify the moment as pleasant, unpleasant, or neutral. And so today I wanted to talk a little bit about these neutral moments, the moments that are neither pleasant or unpleasant, but the moments that we find ourselves just kind of floating, sometimes floating away, looking for something that might be pleasant. These moments that just float in the middle, going unnoticed. And it is during these moments that we have a great opportunity to practice the moments of boredom, of checking out. This is our biggest opportunity because we're not caught in the wants and the I don't wants. And it doesn't seem like our entire unconscious life is dictating by either wanting things to be one way or another. In this moment, we're actually present. But these are the moments that just fleet us. So during this moment, we often find ourselves in the middle of a story, the mind trying to entertain us, a narrative. Maybe even in the middle of the past or the future. And so Rumi says in his poem, The Guest House,
Every morning, a new arrival, a joy, a depression, a meekness. Some momentary awareness comes as an unexpected visitor. He says, welcome and entertain them all. Even if they're a crowd of sorrows who violently sweep your house empty of its furniture, still treat each guest honorably. He may be clearing you for some delight. The dark thought, the shame, the malice even. He says, meet them at the door laughing and invite them in. Be grateful, he says, for whatever comes, because each has been sent as a guide from beyond. So each moment is an opportunity for us to learn, to grow, and to really truly be present in life. So in reference to the moment, John Kabat-Zinn said, it's not just pleasant and unpleasant, he says. There's a continuity right through one and another. So it starts with one and goes to another, he says. And in the middle, it's neither pleasant nor unpleasant. That's what we're talking about today, the neutral moments. And he says most of us, we tune out immediately because it's so boring to be in a neutral moment. We don't want to sit in a neutral moment. We want excitement, right? And then if it's unpleasant, we want to just push it away. We don't want it here. So we're constantly caught in this in this polarity, two different spectrums of being. I want, and I want more. I don't want. But then in the middle lies a lot of opportunity for us for our practice, these neutral moments. So he says, John Kabat-Zinn says, there is no like more for me or that's horrible. And I'm going to have to fight with that. And so he says we sleep away through a lot of life because it is not satisfying to our desires. We're constantly in reactivity mode and moments fleet us. He says, so as soon as you see that when you have one more degree of freedom in handling life experiences, which is I can sort of buy into this just being bored or having to fill my life with more and more interesting, seductive events and trying to run away as much as possible from the bad luck, including dying and aging and everything else, he said. You can do that. Or you can put out the welcome mat, just like Rumi says, welcome everything, the entirety of it. And live in this moment, he says, with things exactly as they are. And see what happens in the next moment. How can we be in the next moment if we're not in this moment? Then the next moment is just catching us off guard constantly. We're always caught off guard because we're elsewhere. Whether it's a past, every time we react to something, we're in the past, or the future, planning, preventing. We think that maybe if I plan life just enough, nothing bad would ever happen. I will never suffer. But it's quite the opposite. The moment you're here, the moment you make that commitment, that's when you're actually fully alive. That's when we're actually engaged. And that's when we can actually listen to what is most needed. And so maybe just taking a moment to allow the neutrality in this moment, if you're experiencing that right now. Maybe a little bit of boredom. This is long. What am I going to do next? Maybe just allowing yourself to tune back in. Noticing your breathing. Coming back to the moment. Maybe there's sleepiness. That's okay. That's all right. That's all part of your moment. So as you go through life today, as you meet others who might talk a lot or little and you find yourself bored, notice for the opportunity there to just be there in neutrality, bringing the practice alive in those moments. Greatest opportunity ever. But we must be in the moment to catch them. Otherwise, we're just going after the next thing. So I want to thank you for being here. I want to thank you for your practice that it's not only for us, for you, it's for everybody. So thank you.